Hi all! Everything in my video is pulled from the public domain, and I am using them under the Fair Use, Fair Dealings guidelines. Everything I say is my own opinion. You should look into this information for yourselves, but I'm pretty sure I'm right. Good morning, everybody. I hope everybody is having a fabulous Wednesday morning. We have a lot to cover, but once again, this is going to be one video, okay? We're still testing this out. So there's a lot to cover. Let's just jump in and get there, shall we? Let's go. We're going to start off. I found this channel. I haven't recommended a channel in a while. It's called Ceiling Time Bedtime Stories. So if you have a younger child or a grandchild and you're struggling to, get a story to them in the evenings, I thought this channel was really cute. Right now it has 20 subscribers, but the woman on here, her voice is very soothing. And if I still had young children, I'd be listening to it. So here we go. I'm recommending a channel to you. I hope you'll tune in. Now, I also want to let you guys know that my shop is now open. So when you open up my videos, if you look at the bottom, you'll see across the bottom, there's more than what's showing, but there's cups. Somebody requested an apron with the words, "I'm pretty sure I'm right" on it. Like everything you could want is there. So feel free to check out that merchandise and purchase what you like. All right, let's move on now. Queen Camilla is back at work after her break, and the first thing she did was go to the Royal Air Force Club, and first she got some beautiful flowers. Then she unveiled a portrait of British resistance agent Noor Khan. I'm not even going to try for the middle name. Now, Miss Khan was infiltrated into enemy-occupied France, and she aided the French resistance during the Second World War. She was the first agent to do that, and she worked with the Paris Resistance Group and aided the Allies, relaying messages back to Britain. She was eventually caught and taken to Gestapo headquarters, where she refused to cooperate with the Nazis. Good for her. That woman showed more grit, stamina, and bravery than half the youth of today. I just have to say, they don't make them like that anymore. Anyway, after she was taken to Dachau concentration camp, she was executed in September of 1944. She was awarded the George Cross posthumously in 1949. The Queen was able to meet staff members of the Royal Air Force Club, and also while she was there, she named a room after that brave woman and said, it's very hard to paint a portrait about somebody who was undercover. You know what I mean? She was able to meet squadron leader Imam Ali Omar as well. The Queen also went to the Royal Air Force Club, which was located in London, and she saw a stained glass window that had been put in that celebrated 100 years of women in support and service of the Royal Air Force. Camilla also signed the visitor book. The person alongside her was the Royal Air Force Club president, Miles Pooley. And Camilla was presented with a book titled The Spy Princess, which is written on the life of Miss Khan by author Miss Basu. I think I said that correctly. Good for her. Now, a big thank you, of course, to Remoulade Sauce as usual, showing that the dress that Camilla was wearing was a rewear, her shoes were a rewear, and her bracelet was a rewear. Everything but I think the necklace was a rewear. Now, the Queen also went to the Fielding Primary School for a poetry together recital and tea party. There were children there as well as care home residents, and she met up with Giles Brandreth. Baroness Dame Benjamin was also in attendance, as you can see here. Now, the young boy in this picture is Benjamin Andrews, and he wrote a poem about one of his family members who has cancer, and he read it, which I think is wonderful. Now, this Poetry Together group encourages school children and the elderly to come together to read poetry. Now, Camilla's quite busy. You could see she met with poet Roger McGow. I hope I'm saying that correctly. He was there. And also while she was there, Camilla met up with performers that were dressed as Alice and the Mad Hatter. She got up on the stage and presented them a cake that was actually made by the palace. I think that's lovely. She looked like she was having a really good time, but she did her usual thing. She opened the plaque, which officially opened the library at the school, which is located in West London. I think you can just tell that this is where, I want to say it right, this is where Camilla is in her element. She loves to read. She's doing her passion. You can tell that she really was having a good time with everybody. Now, for those of you who are wondering, King Charles was not there. She was there by herself. Anyway, again, a big thank you to Remoulade Sauce, who shows us that everything she's wearing, the shoes, the dress, the whole thing is a rewear. There you go. Moving on and still talking about King Charles, apparently he's getting ready to launch his very first major personal project as king, and it is an initiative to bridge the gap between food waste and food need. So apparently this is going to be unveiled in the fall, and it will build on the Coronation Food Project, which is a national scheme created to tackle food insecurity and waste. Wonderful. All right, here we go. I had to touch on this. We all know from the court case, Harry made it very clear that the love of his life was Chelsy Davy, and he wanted to marry Chelsy. And let's not forget, he said that she couldn't take the scrutiny of the media. That's what he said, that it was because of the media intrusion that she didn't want to marry him. Well, now they're putting out this thing about they split after they had one last romantic holiday together, and they went to Botswana, and he said, you know, we had the same old problems. Nothing had been solved. She wanted to travel, have fun, be young. And I was heading again on a path to war, and I'd be shipping off. And we didn't know when we'd see each other. And a good friend helped us come to terms with the split during this holiday. According to this article, Harry said, she asked point blank if I could see myself married to Chelsy because after all, she wore short skirts and high boots and drank as much tequila as I did. And I was worried about how Granny might feel about her or the British public. And I didn't want Chelsy to change to just accommodate them. And he wrote that in 2011, that's also when he married William married Catherine, and he said, I always hoped I'd be a young husband. I thought I'd be married first. So now he's trying to change the narrative since, of course, we all know that he admitted in court that she was the love of his life and he blamed the press for the break. Now it's, no, I was heading off to war and we would have been broken up anyway. But he took, just so you know, in this article, he took another swipe at his dad. He said, I wanted to be a young husband, a young father, because I'd resolved not to become my father. Moving on. And with that, now we're going into the stories that are being put out by WME about how that ring that's on Catherine's finger really belongs on Meghan's finger. Okay. The stories are that this ring, which we know is a 12-carat sapphire and diamond ring, we know that the ring was given by William to Catherine when they became engaged back in 2010. But the stories are coming out now that Harry wanted the ring for his future wife. Now, Paul Burrell has come out and said that when Princess Diana died, each child was allowed to pick something out from her collection to hold on to. And Harry took the engagement ring, and William took her Cartier watch, which had been given to Diana on her 21st birthday, by the way, by her father, John Spencer. Now, the story that Paul Burrell told is that Harry said to William, you know, quoting here, wouldn't it be fitting if Catherine had mommy's ring, you know, because one day that ring will sit on the throne of England. And therefore, Harry gave up the treasure, the one thing he kept from his mother, and he gave it to William. And that's selfless and kind. And that's exactly who Diana was. Now, remember, during the engagement interview, William said, obviously, she's not going to be around to share in all the fun and excitement. So this is my way of keeping her close to it all. And then, of course, when it became Harry's turn to get engaged, he selected something else for Meghan. And then he said, yeah, this is my way of, you know, keeping her on this crazy journey together. Now, the reason this is all coming up now is that the rumor mill is rife that Meghan wants Harry to get that ring because she feels that she should have it. Yes, I've done a video on this previously. That's the rumor going around. She wants the ring. It was Harry's. Harry should not have given it to Catherine. And she actually, according to the rumors, if they're to be believed, she wants Harry to go get that ring back. I say good luck. I think Catherine will knock her flat. Moving on. All right. The blind item came out basically saying that using that calming disc, that she did that to show people how much of an influencer she could be. Look how many likes, and look at the way I'm all over the internet. So you see, you could come work with me. Yeah, but it's not in a good way. This is what she doesn't get. People are not saying nice things about it. Now, moving on, we know that Harry and Meghan have lost their HRH status, and we know that there's more and more people wanting them stripped of their titles. Remember, the Queen said you can't be half in or half out. You work for the Crown. The Crown does not work for you. But yet, Harry and Meghan have been trying very hard to do the half in, half out thing. They're hobnobbing with celebrities in America. Then they come back to the UK for like the Well Child Awards. Then they run off and, do something else. And this is coming to the forefront again because there's still talk that there's going to be some peace talks, which, apparently they're concerned. Meghan wants to be involved. Now, what did I tell you guys before? That if there were going to be peace talks, all Meghan had to do was open her mouth and say, I'm sorry, this got leaked to the press, therefore the royal family doesn't want to have the talks, because that puts things out of her control. Well, she's going on and on now. Meghan is, I want to be there because I think Kate Middleton is going to interfere in these talks. Now, why would she think that? Could it have anything to do with the fact that we now know that Princess Catherine, the Princess of Wales, I love the way they never say her name, that we found out that she was the one behind the recollections may vary statement? Maybe it's because she realizes after they did their walkabout that Catherine stared her down in front of everybody because Catherine knew the truth and Meghan's a liar. Here it is again. And for those of you who still might have missed it, here it is one more time in slow motion. She's letting Meghan know who's in charge, and Meghan immediately backs up. Yep. So now that we know that Catherine was behind that whole recollections may vary, and we know that, Catherine is not just a little wallflower who's going to sit by and let all of this go on. Yes, if I were Meghan and there were actual peace talks going on, I would be concerned that Catherine has her hand in there and is maybe, dilly-dallying around. Yep. All right, moving on. And this doesn't surprise me. They're saying Meghan thinks the UK charities aren't worth the time. And it's true. What UK charity does she have left that she actually actively participates in? I mean, she dumped the shelter, those puppies quicker than you could, snap a finger. All right, some housekeeping items now. All right, moving on. You guys know I don't drink, but I went out the other night and I had a drink called a Moscow Mule. I'd never heard of it before, but I went out and I bought all the ingredients. Now, I don't know if having sugar-free ginger beer, which by the way is alcohol-free beer, makes a difference, but So 0 sugar-free ginger beer, a little squirt of lime juice, which is also 0 calories, and then I put 1 tablespoon of the alcohol in there, and I find it to be really refreshing. I think I've found something I can actually drink for once. All right, you guys, leave those comments below. Don't forget to go into my store and buy some merchandise. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and that bell. Don't forget to go into the description box. You'll find the links to my Twitter, my Getter, my Rumble, my email, and my physical address. For those of you who've donated to my coffee fund or through the thanks button, thank you so much. And as always, you guys, have a great day.